Everybody, stop. I don't care what you're doing. Stop it right now. Like, close the schools, cancel my plans. Everybody, stop. I just got my first piece of fan art. Zeke, I don't know how to pronounce your name still, I'm sorry. But she made it. She is wonderful, fantastic. I love her. This art is fantastic. Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say. Oh my god. I'm just sorry about that little outburst. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. Guys, if you want to talk to me or send me anything like that, just go follow me on Amino. I'm always open to talking to people. If I'm in a bad mood and I tell you to fuck off, I'm sorry, but I try to be as nice as I can, but please, just, I don't even care. Bug me in the middle of the night. Go send me every and anything that you want to send me. I don't care. I love you guys. Howdy ho, people of the internet. It's your best pal MJ from Better Killed Studios here, and I'm sorry that you had to see my ugly ass face, but I just had to thank the person that gave me that fan art with like my actual face in person, I guess, because that just means so much to me. I've been going through like a little spell where I don't have any motivation to make videos. There's like so many different kinds of videos that I want to do, but I'm afraid that y'all won't like them. So like that fan art really just gave me the motivation that I needed, the push that I needed to make these videos again. So I just want to say thank you to the person that made them. I will be linking their Amino in the description because they're honestly a really sweet person and I love them. That's all there is to it. Sorry this intro is so long. But today, guys, I've decided to tackle yet another horrible, awful, downright no good, downright just horrible, disgusting ship. You could probably tell what it is by the images on your screen right now. That's right. It's Jeff the Killer x Slenderman. And I think you guys have picked up on how much I genuinely hate Tiki Maskey by now. I hate Jeff x Slenderman probably even more. Sorry, it's so echoey, but I hate it even more. And I just... ugh, no. Like, it's just so disgusting. It's so nasty. And, like, look at this picture right now. Jeff is fucking-teen. He's 13. And Slendy is, like, 1,000-year-old demon that eats children. Like, yeah, oh, it's so kawaii desu. Ugh. I don't like it for the same reason I don't like Tiki Maskey. I feel like that even if Slendy was a human, there'd be just too much of an age gap between the two of them. Like, Toby being 19 and, like, what, Maskey was in college and, like, Tim was in college in, like, 2008, 2009, like, 2010 or something. He's, like, 30-something now. He's probably, like, 35, 36. That's too much of an age gap. No. And it's the same fucking thing with Slenderman x Jeff. It's so bad. It's too much of an age gap. It's too much. And it creeps me out. I hate it. But there is one ship I like. Are you ready to submit yet to the Hoodski Master Race? Yes, I'll submit. Just please, let me see my family. Hoodski forever! Okay, back on track. So today's fan fiction is Frustration by Princess Cypher on Wattpad. Oh boy, here we go. By the way, letting you know before we get into it, this is a lemon, just in case you didn't want to listen to me awkwardly read sex to you guys. Let's get into it. The story. Thank you for clarifying, Princess Cypher. Jeffrey Woods, come to my office immediately. I don't know what voice to give Slendy, so that's what you're gonna get. Jeff the killer jumped, nearly dropping the knife that he had been sharpening. With an annoyed grumble, he skipped the frayed knife into his pocket. Was he just skipping? Like, did he skip over to the knife and then it just bibbidi bobbidi booped its way into his pocket? I don't know. I was watching Doctor Strange yesterday, so is he a master? Is he the ancient one? Did the knife just fly into his pocket? Is that the cape of levitation? I don't know what just happened in that sentence. He skipped the frayed knife into his pocket and tossed his sharpening stone onto the desk. Why the hell was Slendy bothering him? To fuck you. He was fairly certain that he hadn't done anything wrong recently, unless he was being reprimanded for sticking a snake in Ben's bed. But he hadn't heard a scream, which meant that the elf had yet to discover it. Besides, that snake was payback. That made it okay. Jeff, I am very concerned for how you view the world, but I suppose I should have been concerned long ago when you started murdering people. Jeff jumped, cursing at Slenderman's voice. Once again, invaded his mind. Didn't the guy have any damn patience? Grumbling loudly and cursing out the faceless man in his head, Jeff pushed open his door and slammed it shut behind him. He was frowning as much as possible, despite the fact that the smile carved into his face made it hard. Hey, Jeff, Maskey said, leaning against the door. Don't involve my babies in this. Jeff's expression fell more. Did he really send you to get me? Good guess, the other man replied, the grin clear in his voice. Come on, he really seemed impatient, Maskey added as he started leading the way to Slenderman's office. What did you do this time? Nothing, at least not yet, Jeff admitted, his right hand sliding across the handle of his knife. That's strange, Maskey replied, stopping outside his boss's door. After knocking, he called out, I brought Jeff. Why is Maskey always included in these weird smut fan fictions everyone wants to write? Just leave him alone. Leave him out of it. He's not involved in this. Leave my babies alone, okay? Sorry, I'm really overprotective of Maskey for some reason. Send him in. Then go check on Hoodie. It appears that Laughing Jack and Ben are planning to pull a prank on him. Maskey tensed before bolting down the hallway to see his friend. They are friends? I don't even know if they could be considered friends. They're more like work partners in my eyes. Jeff rolled his eyes. Those two were so damned obvious. Obvious about what? About being pals? Sighing, he pushed open the door. I was coming, he grumbled, plopping down in one of the plush chairs across from Slendy. You didn't have to send a damned escort. The faceless man didn't respond right away. He continued to write on the papers on his desk before apparently reaching some sort of stopping point and slipping it into one of the drawers of his desk. Slenderman stood, clearing some other things off his desk with his tentacles and placing them in different parts of the room. Jeff was starting to get twitchy. Usually Slendy would get right to the point so he could keep working on whatever it was he spent hours on every day. At the very least, he was never this quiet. Are you trying to freak me out? Jeff growled, sliding down his chair and taking out his knife to start cleaning blood out from underneath his fingernails, and then get more blood from underneath his fingernails as he proceeds to remove it. He was vaguely aware of Slenderman getting up and moving around the room. He wasn't really worried. The faceless man kept stuff all over his room, so he was probably just getting something that pertained to the killer he had called. Jeff was perfectly calm until he heard the door unlock. Not unlock, he meant lock. Until he heard the door lock. I don't think I've ever seen him lock the door. What the hell is going on? Jeff thought, slipping the hilt of his knife into his palm. Its reassuring presence helped him calm down, if only a little. I never locked the door, Slenderman said bluntly. Yeah, obviously, Jeff just said that. I don't get why they needed to restate that fact. Jeff literally, not even a paragraph ago, said that. Literally a few sentences ago. Still somewhere behind the killer. Stop poking around my head, Jeff snarled. The moment he stood up, a black tentacle wrapped around his wrist, forcing him to drop the knife. Hey, what the hell, Slendy? I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going. Another tentacle wrapped around his wrist, oh god, effectively restricting his movement, oh god. With one swift push, Jeff was pushed against the desk, oh god. Slenderman's tentacles pinning both of his wrists to the clear surface so that the killer could barely move. Appearing calm as hell, the faceless man walked forward so that he was towering over Jeff even more than usual. When the killer attempted to kick him, two more tentacles shot out and grabbed his ankles tightly, pinning his legs to the side of the desk. Jeff stared up at Slenderman, his pupils dilating in fear. What the hell had he done to piss off the faceless this much? Slendy calmly picked up the knife with another tentacle, gingerly setting it to the side before saying, I'm not angry. If I were angry, I would have simply yelled at you. You're a faceless demon. You could have just killed him. I have done it before. What the hell do you want? Would you like me to be blunt? Oh, don't say blunt. Yeah, just get to the point. I want you, Jeffrey. Jeff gaped at the man, his mouth hanging open. You will catch flies like that, Jeffrey. Why does he keep calling him Jeffrey? You should close your mouth. Once the killer had done his ass, Slenderman continued, Do not act as if you are unaware of my ability to read thoughts, and, by conjunction, your innermost emotions. You seemed quite frustrated as of late, Jeffrey. Your killing has increased rapidly in the past couple months. He's Jeff the Killer. It's in the name. At the statement, Slenderman reached over Jeff to grab a paper, his tag coming out of his suit and sliding across Jeff's face. When the faceless man leaned back, his shoulders shook at the younger killer's flushed face. I spend my time keeping track of all the kills done by those within the mansion, as well as how they're done. Your total 2 months ago was 7. Your total last month was 15. This month, you've already killed over 20 people, including a family of 5. Quite out of your comfort range. So, that could just mean that he's improving with his killing abilities, his skills. He could be learning how to kill people faster or learn how to kill more people at a time, which causes him to be better at his job. It doesn't mean that he's sexually frustrated or that this 1,000-year-old faceless demon has to assault this poor child. This isn't how it has to be. So what? Jeff shot out, trying to take control of the situation as much as possible. It was pretty hard considering that he was still completely pinned to the desk. The whole scenario wouldn't be nearly as bad if he could at least have his eyes shut. That's your own fault, Jeff. I'm afraid that's of your doing. Your frustration is clearly not being sated by these murders, Jeffrey. After reviewing your thoughts and just how you conducted these kills, I finally realized what you need. What, did he fuck every victim as he was killing them? How do you know what he needs? Get off of me, Jeff snarled, trying to ignore the burning feeling in his cheeks that popped up as Slender leaned closer. What the hell is wrong with me? When Slenderman spoke once more, Jeff could practically hear the smirk in his voice. It seems you are unaware of your own body, Jeffrey. Shall I show you something? Just let me go, you ass, Jeff ground out, pulling against the tentacles that absolutely refused to budge. And if I could make that frustrated feeling disappear, Jeffrey? Stop calling him Jeffrey, please! Jeff froze in his struggle. He was certainly annoyed that his kills weren't giving him the same rush as Beefer. Oh yeah, my pal Beefer. He and I, we like to kill people together, and we're so much better than Jeff, guys. So much better. We get all of the rushes. So much better. Me and Beefer, me and you, buddy. But he was pretty sure that he knew what Slendy was suggesting, and if it was true, he wasn't quite sure that it was the right course of action. Of course it is the correct thing to do. I know best, the faceless man interjected, sounding incredibly amused. Stop reading my damn mind. Then how would I know what you're feeling? You shouldn't, because that's creepy. It is much easier to just go right to the source. Would you not agree? Besides, you are rarely honest, Jeffrey. Stop calling me that. I agree, Jeff. Stop calling him that. Slenderman leaned down, his tentacles tightening their grip on Jeff and pulling him closer. Are you sure you wish me to, Jeffrey? Please stop. When he said his name, he had a sort of strange purr that sent an unwelcome shiver down Jeff's spine. Damn it. I told you to stop, you ass. The killer managed, his voice oddly strained. Slenderman didn't respond verbally this time. Oh no. Instead, one of his free tentacles moved under Jeff's blood-stained shirt. And the t-shirt beneath that. A soft gasp arose from the killer's mouth as the cool and strangely slick bandage began sliding against his not bandage, appendage. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm slipping up because of how uncomfortable this is making me. Appendage began sliding against his bare skin. Suddenly, the only thoughts going through Jeff's mind was that he wanted those tentacles all over him. I can read your thoughts, Jeffrey, Slenderman reminded, his voice oddly husky. Is oddly and strangely the only, adverbs this author knows how to use? Jeff winced, trying to close his eyes before being unhappily reminded of the fact he didn't have eyelids. When he tried to look away, another tentacle came up and kept his head in place so that he was staring up at Slendy. The faceless man seemed to be deriving some sort of sick pleasure from this. Sick is right. Sick is damn right, Jeffrey. And all the pleasure that you're feeling is not sick? God damn it, Slendy. Slenderman asked, amused as he ran his tentacles over a particular part of Jeff's chest. The killer let out a much louder gasp, wincing in pain again as his pants started to get a little too tight. Slendy, he moaned. I'm not moaning that for you, he moaned, just before clamping his mouth shut. What the hell was that? I am not getting off on this, damn it. I hate that this is hentai porn. I hate this so much. I hate it. I hate it with a burning passion. Oh my god. Another tentacle joined the first under Jeff's clothes, giving attention to the previously neglected other nipple. You should not like to yourself, Jeffrey. What does that mean? In one swift motion, Slenderman released Jeff's hands just long enough to pull the killer's sweatshirt and t-shirt off before pulling them down again. Much better. What just happened? I think he pulled them off. Oh, he pulled his shirt off and then he pinned him back down again. My dyslexia is making this difficult to read. Damn it, Jeff growled, his back arching a little at the taller man's touch. You're not even using your hands. You seem to be enjoying regardless, Jeffrey, and I must admit, I quite like to watch you squirm under my touch. I don't like how he says that. Jeff felt his face flush, although he tried to ignore it in favor of finding a way to escape and get some payback against the faceless bastard currently pinning him. You won't be going anywhere, Jeffrey, though please feel free to repay me to your heart's content. Later. I want to die. Slenderman slid the tentacle that had been holding Jeff's head in place down his neck, eliciting a gasp from the younger killer. Does he not moan? Does he just gasp? Oh, no, wait. The next sentence. A moan rose in his throat, but was quickly bit back down. Just barely visible, Slenderman's eyebrow ridges came together. Stop that. Let me hear your voice and those lovely noises that wish to escape you. How do you know they're lovely? Jeff could moan like, ah! Fuck you, Jeff hissed through clenched teeth. I believe that you mean fuck me. No! The tentacle that had been on Jeff's neck. Imagine a killer just on Jeff's neck. That had been on Jeff's neck began to trail down his chest and side, earning gasps and moans along the way. He's just like sliding his slimy tentacles all over Jeff. Just imagine like someone taking an octopus's tentacle and just sliding it all over your body, like like a fucking crayon on a piece of paper, just all over your body. Oh, I'm sorry. Earning gasps and moans along the way, another joining it when reached the band of his pants. Expertly, Slenderman undid the buttons of Jeff's pants, slipping them down to his ankles. Apparently, the faceless man didn't want to risk letting go, so he just let the jeans stay there. Jeff's boxers soon followed. Jeff bit his lip, turning his lip so he didn't have to look at the man above him. Damn it, the damn bastard hasn't even taken off any of his clothes. Do you think Slenderman has a dick? And, like, if he does have a dick, do you think that it's a tentacle? 'Cause, like, I do. And also, that would be fucking weird. This video is gonna get pulled off of YouTube. But I don't know. I don't think he does have a dick. And if he does have a dick, then I think it's a tentacle. So this literally is hentai. Yay! I hate my life. A deep chuckle emerged from Slenderman, the noise holding an odd sense of pride. I hadn't even realized that you wanted to see that. Are you finally warming up to me, Jeffrey? Stop. Stupid cocky bastard. When the tentacles lifted away from his chest and waist, Jeff risked a glance upward. He immediately felt surprisingly conflicted. Slenderman was slowly removing his suit jacket and tie, leaving his shirt on but unbuttoned. It looked like his idiot brother offender, Jeff thought with a grimace. Slenderman froze in his movements, the four tentacles holding onto Jeff tightened so hard he cried out in pain and a little pleasure. Ew. A ripping sound filled the room as Slendy's face came apart to reveal his mouth. He lowered his head next to Jeff, biting down as hard as he could. That would kill him. Fuck. Jeff cursed, hands clenched tightly against the tentacles holding them down. What the hell? He managed a soft gasp as Slenderman's tongue ran over the now bleeding wound. A moan emerged deep from within Jeff's throat. Perfect, Slendy growled into Jeff's neck, now louder. The tentacles went back to work, feeling up the killer, and Jeff was finding it harder and harder to concentrate on anything other than the slick appendages moving over him. When Jeff finally managed to focus a little, he realized that Slender had done away with his shirt at some point, and a pleased thought crossed the killer's mind before he got lost within the sensation once more. He could feel the Slenderman grin against his neck, lessening his grip on the boy's wrist and ankles. Do not tell me that this is all you can handle, Jeffrey. I can handle more, jackass, Jeff ground out, not even bothering to hold back another moan that threatened to escape his lips. You want to know what I think the worst part about this is? I think the worst part about this story is the fact that it's not badly written. It's not like the Eyeless Jack fanfiction where it's just like it's horrible. It's not absurdly bad. It's not cringy in its writing. It's cringy in its subject material, and that's even worse because you're like, why would you a slightly talented writer have any, like, why would you choose to write about this, about Slenderman, like, hentai fucking Jeff the Killer on a counter? Why would you want to do that? Why? I don't understand it. I don't think anybody does. Your motivations confuse me. I will never understand today's youth. And with that, oh god, I read ahead. No. I read ahead. Oh no. With that, Slenderman grinned wider as another of his tentacles came around to grip Jeff's erect member. You know, guys, I feel like I should get a bit more appreciation in the comments for doing this shit. Because this is horrible. I hate this. At the same time, he bit down again. A low groan emerged from the killer's throat. As Jeff found it harder and harder to make any noise other than moans and gasps, a single tentacle worked its way into his mouth. It caused the killer to start at first, but with the appendage prodding around his mouth, Jeff finally gave up and started to suck and lick it. His actions caused Slenderman's grip to tighten even more, something that would have been incredibly painful if he wasn't so turned on. Can't handle it? Jeff asked around the tentacle, grinning widely and feeling some of his confidence come back. I would just like to say that this proves my tentacle dick theory. With those words, Slendy stood up tall and flipped Jeff over so that he was now bending over the desk. Oh god. The killer moaned loudly before whimpering at a sudden loss of stimulation. Seconds later, two tentacles wrapped around him to ghost over his skin. Another wrapped around his waist as Slender leaned forward and braced himself against the desk. Oh god. I thought this was gonna be like, this isn't what I thought it was gonna be. Oh god. By putting both hands to either side of Jeff. After discarding his own pants to help his own problem, Slender moved the tentacle that the younger man had been paying attention to down to the killer's entrance. Another moved his twitching member to distract the boy. Jeff, you see, that's the thing. They use the word boy. Jeff is not a man. Jeff is 13, and Slenderman is older than time itself. I know he could have aged, and people usually age him up, but to me, he will always be 13-year-old Jeffrey Woods. I'm just saying. He will always, Jeffrey Keithan, or whatever, Jeffrey Woods, I don't care. He will always be this 13-year-old kid in my eyes. And I don't think that will ever change. And it's just so difficult to read when you're constantly being reminded that this child is, this is, it's just like, it's gross. It's so gross. It's the same reason I hate I hate Tiki Masky. It's so gross. Jeff wasn't even aware that the tentacle had been there until it entered him. A loud moan escaped his throat. He had never imagined that having something up there would feel so damn good. His moans got louder and louder as Slendy lowered his head to bite and lick the untouched side of Jeff's neck. Soon enough, a fairly familiar feeling began building in the young killer's stomach. Damn it, he moaned out, feeling his body move of its own accord in order to attempt to get closer to the faceless man, currently dominating him. I guess I want to apologize for picking this story in particular. Like when I looked up Jeff the Killer x Slenderman fanfiction, I knew what I was getting into, fully. I just knew. I knew that this was going to be the kind of bullshit we were going to read. I didn't know that this was going to be what it was. I knew that they were going to, stroke his dick with his tentacles and, do the whole slimy calamari, rub up his body. But I didn't know. If I knew that the tentacle was going to go right up the ass, I wouldn't have read this. I don't even know if this video hits YouTube, then I'm sorry. Let's continue this journey into the horrifyingly terrible. The boy, writhing and whimpering beneath him, was doing wonders for Slenderman, but it was the one thing that finally pushed the leader of the mansion of the Creepypasta mansion over the edge. Slendy, I'm not moaning for you guys. Jeff moaned out as he realized he was close. The first time he had said the taller man's name. Slenderman paused for a moment, earning a whine from the boy beneath him, before going at it twice as hard as he had been doing it before. At his stronger ministrations? Why did they use the word ministrations there? Jeff started panting. Listening to the killer moan and whimper was bringing Slender closer and closer. I'm just gonna start reading this like a robot. I'm sorry. He realized that it wouldn't be long for himself either, and he just had to make sure that Jeff came before him. Why? Lowering his head to the boy's torso, the faceless man licked up the side. Suddenly, very glad that he made his mouth appear. Once he found a sensitive spot, the Slenderman made the tentacle going in and out of Jeff pick up to inhuman speeds. Wouldn't that kill him? And then bit down. Slendy, that's the best you're gonna get out of me. Jeff cried, his erect member twitching as he released all over the taller man's desk. Slenderman felt his own release moments later, feeling pride and fulfillment as he finally released Jeff and stepped back. The younger boy was panting heavily, gripping onto the desk like a lifeline, his back covered in Slendy's own release. Calming himself down some, Slenderman lightly picked up the young killer up and went into his own private bathroom. After setting the nearly asleep boy in the bathtub, he filled with water before Jeff had even arrived. The man walked back to his office and bedroom to clean up. All of his papers were returned to his desk once he managed to clean it, though he doubted that he would ever look at it the same way. Once the room had been clean, he had put their clothes in the wash, barred Jeff's sweatshirt with Slendy knew that only the boy would wash. He redressed and went back into the bathroom. Jeff had apparently woken up some now that he was coming down from his high. He had cleaned himself off, but he refused to meet Slender's gaze. Curious, the older man delved into his mind. Why is this still going? Damn attractive bastard. How dare he make me feel so damn good, then come in here like nothing happened. Standing there with a stupid-ass shirt, Jeff's inner thoughts complained. It was also around the point that Slender noticed that the younger man's ears were bright red, indicating a blush. A soft chuckle rose from within him. Would you like me to take off my shirt, Jeffrey? The boy cringed before standing up and turning back to the taller man. Stop reading my damn mind. Ignoring the boy's words for the most part, Slenderman lifted him from the bath using his tentacles and started to dry him off with a few towels. It didn't take an expert to realize that he was hurting a little, but it did take a mind reader to realize that he rather liked the pain. Stupid cocky jackass. That was too freaking hot. How am I supposed to get off on my own now? This better not have been a one-time thing. Better happen again, damn it. Jeff, what is wrong with you? Jeff, please. Jeff, I need you to do something for me, man. I need you to run. I need you to get out, and I need you to run far, 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 far away. I need you to just leave. I need you to get away from Slendy, please. Alright, next page. Slenderman held back another laugh, using his tentacles to pull Jeff's sweatshirt over his head, and if seeing the boy in just his bloodstained sweatshirt was the most attractive thing he'd ever seen, then he needed to check his non-existent eyes. Slenderman gingerly picked up the boy as if he were precious, ignoring the resulting complaints as he carried the killer to the other side of the room to set him on the bed. Moments later, a tentacle placed the all-too-special knife in the pocket of Jeffrey's sweatshirt. Once he tucked the boy in because his thoughts gave away how tired he really was. Slenderman started back to his desk. He stopped halfway through, closing the curtains that separated his office from his bed, when a scream tore through the mansion, followed by Ben yelling, "God damn it, Jeff! A fucking snake! I'm going to kill you this time!" Slenderman turned his head toward Jeff in a silent question. "Payback," the boy mumbled, grabbing the pillow that smelled the most like Slenderman before cuddling with it and shoving his head into it block out the light streaming in from the window. He deserved it. That last sentence was difficult to read. The faceless man chuckled, finally shutting the curtain the rest of the way. As he sat down, he realized that he would have to find a few creative ways to punish Jeff in the future, and he most certainly looked forward to the next prank the young killer pulled. Well, that was fucking dreadful. I genuinely think that fic took a few years off my life. And I know that if I had to read every time someone reads that, a puppy dies in my eyes. I don't know how to explain how I felt about reading that. It was gross. I could feel this disgusting, bubbling sensation of gross in my chest, and I didn't like it. Hey, Jeff, what do you think about this? Well, MJ, I fucking hate it. Guess that sums up my personal thoughts on it. Well, guys, looks like this is the end of the video. I just want to give a big, fat shout out to Zeke. I'm so sorry I can't pronounce your name. I apologize so much. But a link to her Amino will be in the description below, as will all of my my Insta, my Tumblr, and my Amino be in the description below. So again, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, hit like. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff that I do here, hit subscribe. And this is your best pal MJ signing out. Keep calm and stay creepy, my friends.
Come to the light.